The reason why brands have licenses is so they can make sure that the quality control on the products that are being made in their name is perfect.
There are so many other no-name brands. I'm talking about like three-syllable brand names. There's like this Time Micro is one that I've discussed before on my other channel. What are your thoughts about these brands and how they're doing things?
One word: opportunistic. Taking the success of brands like Tarmac Works and Mini GT and Pop Race and trying to replicate it simply because they have access to some of the same factories or the same companies that build this. And then, let's capitalize on this mold. So while those guys are working hard to get their licenses and all, and it's quite crazy because here's something that a lot of people don't realize, right? When you buy a Tarmac Works, Mini GT, or Pop Race 165, I'm mentioning those because those are the brands that I'm really familiar with. But there's also Inno 64, who also started off kind of like dodgily without their license, but now they've realized that they've got to get that game going. You pay for a licensed product on one hand, right? And you pay premium for it, right? And then you get Time Micro that charges you the same money without the license. Now,
Exactly.
in about 10 years, if you're a person who's, getting into the hobby and thinking of cashing out in 10 years from now, take off selling your hobby, what's going to hold more value? Obviously, the one that has the licensed product. So a lot of people don't understand that they're paying the same amount of money for something that's unlicensed. And then there's the whole ethicalness of it, right? The reason why brands have licenses is so they can make sure that the quality control on the products that are being made in their name is perfect, right? So, like when we first got hold of the IXO Tarmac Works Ferraris, Tarmac Works was very, very specific to tell us that we had to mention the fact that it was coming from IXO. And
Mm,
having a chat with Felix, he was very, very particular about, mentioning the fact that Ferrari, though it's a sub license from IXO, Ferrari was involved very personally in the creation of those cars. So those cars actually went through Ferrari's approval before Ferrari said, okay, you can put our sticker on your box. Now that's something you won't get with Time Micro and brands like those guys who completely, try and take advantage of the situation and drop some cars. And we're saying Time Micro, but in all fairness, there's a whole bunch of them as well.
Oh, there are so many. It feels like there's a new brand like every 3 weeks, and the castings look similar. The bases look similar, and then you've got situations where you've got really odd liveries, like on makes and models you would never see. Kind of like the Spoon Sports on a Toyota. It's just, they're just coming up with these fantasy cars, trying to get it out there, just trying to get some money out of people and just be done with it and go on to the next thing.
The on the upside, the good part is it pushes brands. It pushes the more serious brands like Tarmac Work and Pop Race and Mini GT innovate further and do more interesting stuff and tie up with more interesting people and actually kind of now, for example, Tarmac Works is tied up with Gunther Works, right?
Yes,
The Porsche,
yes,
the
yep.
Porsche, the guys, right? So those guys are pretty small, so they will keep a very close eye on their licensing and who is abusing it and who is using it and so on and so forth. And as a result, we as collectors get some fantastic models because there was a time when I had a Singer Porsche from Pop Race, Gunther Works Porsche from Tarmac Works, and a rough CTR Porsche from Mini GT. So that's all your three Porsche tuners, your hybrid Porsche tuners in 164 scale, licensed and built absolutely beautiful. So in that sense, we kind of like get another side of beautiful cars that you don't really see because these guys can't get the licensing and the artworks for it.
I mean, I feel like Time Micro is a capable brand that could get the license, and just do it right. But I don't know why they don't, right? Like that's a questionable area. Like I don't understand. Just get the license, get it done, be legit, like Tarmac, Ignition, and all these other guys, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, no, it's obvious that there are buyers. I mean, so give them a better
exactly.
offer as that. And I think it's they everyone is doing their own thing in their own way. So even if it's the same model car, you still get differences. You still get there. I feel each brand has their own character that they put into the cars. It's kind of weird. But you can tell a time. You can tell. Sorry, not a Tarmac Works. You can tell a Mini GT. You can tell a Pop Race by looking at it because they have certain things that they do with their cars. Like Jada, for example. You look at Jada, any 124 scale Jada, and they've got that stance in their cars that is absolutely perfect for low riders. And and it's known. Jada is known for their stancing their cars really low. So, it's like a signature sort of thing. So Time Micro can easily build on that and have their own signature as well. There's absolutely no problem. And I don't think they're going to lose business. I think they probably drum up more business and get more support, from people like us, for example.